Good morning. How are you? Well, it's warm and beautiful today, and I have got some of your remarks about appearing on Ari last night. I tried to answer them. I tried to do that because I figure that's how we have a dialogue. Something like this. I get the feedback on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook, and then I try to respond to it. One of the things we spoke about last night at the end of the show was the commission, the Insurrection Commission, I prefer to call it. And it's a dramatic statement that we don't have 435 members of Congress and all 100 senators in support of a commission. And one of the reasons is, and it's unavoidable, is that some people supported the insurrection or are indifferent to it, or it satisfies their political need, or they're pliable, compliant with he whom we would rather not speak of, who apparently calls them up and tells them he'll, get out of bed all those people that'll give him a primary if they don't vote the way he wants, which is really to protect him. Think about it. It's really a conspiracy of the principal character who caused the insurrection, who is leaning on some Republicans, not all, to say, Moxnix, we don't have to do anything about it. It's outrageous. Still, there were 35 members of the Republican caucus who voted to have the commission. And the question is, in the Senate, will we have 10 who will vote for the commission with the Democrats to get to 60? And presently, as I understand the nose count, they only can count on 6, which makes me think that if the Senate is serious about its business, they should lean on any dissenters in the Democratic caucus and get them to change the rule of 60 so that a majority is sufficient. And there's just no excuse for it. I was originally against the commission, and I have reservations about how it would work, but I've now heard so many people feel that they need to have a commission and they need to have something that parallels what happened with the 9/11 Commission. And the 9/11 Commission was much more successful than some other efforts have been in American history. And some of it had to do with the people who were chosen. And last night I mentioned Rick Benveniste. He's a former assistant from the Southern District. He was a Watergate prosecutor, but he is a very constructive, engaged individual who knows the law and politics, and I think he was an important member of that commission. This is not to say anything against others. And those are the kinds of people that we would need on this commission so that it would have credibility and have effect with whatever its findings were, both factual and recommendations going forward. What else is going on? Well, Senate, of course, Abbott, he's got an idea about abortions. He thinks it should be 6 weeks, which directly contradicts Roe v. Wade, and which says that it has to be viable. The fetus has to be viable. And 6 weeks is pre-viable, just as the 13 to 15 weeks is pre-viable, and the other challenge that has been accepted by the Supreme Court to be considered. So we're going to find out if those corrupt justices are corrupt by the fact that they fulfill a contract, or they breathe life into Roe v. Wade for all the reasons that it was passed originally and why it should be sustained now. I wouldn't profess to be an expert on what's happening in the Middle East or what happens between the Palestinians and Israel. And I wouldn't take the part of anyone in that war, which has wreaked such havoc on people. And I wouldn't try to figure out who has what motive. But the one thing I'm very clear on is that I think that it just doesn't make sense to pass a bill or to authorize $735 million in arms to send to Israel right now. Bernie Sanders has got a motion on the floor of the Senate to oppose that, and he has hopes of passing a resolution. Now, a resolution doesn't require 60 votes; it requires a majority. So he could pass a resolution, and it remains to be seen if he will. because there's a mixed view about it. And if it requires the Democrats to do it, we might have a problem when it comes to the vice president, because it is this administration under Biden that seems comfortable sending the arms. And so that's just a wrong idea, in my opinion. Those are a couple of things that caught my attention. We'll be following, as we did last night, the investigations of Trump and his corrupt cronies, and see where that goes. I am encouraged that the AG and the DA are working hard, but they have to work quicker too. And sometimes you have to go forward without the cooperation of the person you're squeezing to give you evidence against the higher-ups, in this case, the Trump family and the Trump finances. So get out if you can. It's beautiful. And I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.